Hi friend, this is Ashutosh. Today I'm going to discuss about the DOM manipulation. Basically what we will learn today, how to access that DOM elements with the JavaScript and how to modify that. So we are going with very basics. I will just make a simple application of that DOM manipulation. So be here and learn. And yeah, so basically what I'm going to do, I will take one text and one input which will be type of range, and I will just do some manipulation with the text. That's it, nothing, right? So I'm making one class container. In this class I will be having one h1. In h1 we are having text hello, right? So yeah, I have loaded it with the live server so that we can see directly here like what we are doing here. We will get the impact of that, right? So now input, basically type will be a range. So yeah, we can see here my range input is coming, and we have another attributes in range input which will be min will be 10, and here I will choose max will be 60. So what it will do, it will just set the minimum and maximum of this range. Like top rightmost will be the maximum, leftmost will be the minimum. Minimum will be 10 and maximum will be 60, right? This is just a number, nothing else, right? And how to access it with the JavaScript. So I'm not going to create any separate file for that. I will do here only because this is very small script. So you guys are knowing that, right? So yes, so for accessing that we have the multiple way to access the DOM element itself, right? So let's say I'm taking this is I'm declaring the variable for the text here, document dot get element by id, class name, my name, tag name. So since we haven't taken any of this one, so we will going to with the most basics which is id, but we don't have a id here, right? So just let's give the id quickly here, id text, right? So I'm going to copy this one and paste it here, right? Yes, text is here. Now we have access of the text. Now we need the access of the input box, input range, right? So because of that we will fetching that value of it. So here again id, I'm going to name it slider because it is sliding. This is not exactly slider, but yeah, I'm gonna to take a name of it, right? So let slider document dot get element by id, slider. Now we are having access of both. For that, see what we need to think, like what we have to do. So my goal is to increase the size of this text according to this slider value. Like if we are doing it leftmost, so it should be the minimum. And what is the minimum? Minimum here is a 10. So 10 we can conclude it as a 10 pixels or 60 pixels for the maximum, right? So we want to access this font size with this slider. So our main goal is that. So I'm going to make one function for that. Function handle slider, typo I guess I have made. Yeah, so yeah, I have made the function. In this function I'm going to access first the value of the slider. So how I'm going to do that? Here is the slider. Yeah, let's declare a new variable, it will be easy to understand. Let value of slider is equals to slider dot value, correct? So I will store the what is the value of the slider in this value of the slider variables, right? So here this is the text. Now I'm going to inject that CSS property via JavaScript itself. So what we will do, for the basic CSS, what we do, like we are just declare the ID in the CSS file and going to the give it to the font size, font color, text, a lot of CSS properties are there. So now I'm going to give the CSS property from the JavaScript. So let's see, text dot style. Style means I am telling to the DOM like I am going to use the style of this element, right? In this style, what we have, the attributes, font size, right? In font size I am going to give that what is the value is coming from the slider itself. So slider, okay, I have already declared the variable for that, so I don't need to give that slider. This one, value of the slider. But if we give the value of the slider, it will not work. You can see it, because we need to give that pixels itself, right? So because how we are giving that font size, like font font size is equals to 20 pixel, like that. This value will give only 20, it will not give the pixels, so we have to add that pixels there, right? So how, basically this is known as a concatenation. So I am adding one pixels here. So this whole value will become how many value is there plus pixels, right? Like I have shown you earlier. So now let's see, just declare this, just call this function. We need, every function needs to be called, then only it will get impact, right? So we have the events like on change. This is HTML event, like Windows event we can see. So whenever this function will get called, it will access this value of the slider and inject it into the text font size, right? So let's see. Yeah, now we can see our size is decreasing and increasing. So yeah, like that we can modify anything in the DOM itself, right? Basics will be always same, guys. Nowhere it will gonna to change anyhow. Basics will be always same. You can take the screenshot of it. Let me shrink this. Yeah, now you can see the complete file. I am just using these few lines of the JavaScript which can access this DOM, right? This is accessing. Yeah, thanks.